Hello everybody, it's Corvette Dan. Welcome back to the channel. What we have here is part 2 of C5 climate control display fix. You probably know if you own a C5 that display will go blank, and it's a simple fix of soldering some little chips on the inside. So the first thing we're going to do once we get this out of the car is take it apart. So we'll turn it over and you'll see 4 nuts there. Grab a 3/16 nut driver and back them out. 3/16 nut driver. From there, the back simply comes off. Now, on the inside, there's 4 more 3/16 nuts you're going to remove with the nut driver. Nut driver is probably the best tool for this. You could use a 3/16 socket and something to drive that socket, but the nut driver is probably the best bet. Once these nuts are removed, the piece will slide off the back. Be careful not to lose these little screws. And now simply by turning it over, you can pretty much get it out fairly easy. Watch for the prongs that actually are used to connect to the connector inside the car. But just a little wiggling and a little bit of improvisation here. A little patience. Maybe a little screwdriver to pry this out. But it will come out. Alright, there we go. Can be a little tricky, but as you can see, a little patience, we'll get that out. Now we're going to turn it over, and we're going to be soldering these 8 chips. They can become loose and therefore possibly cause your dim. And that's really what we're going to be doing here, is resoldering those. Per the advice of my assistant here, he suggests that we solder all of one side first. That way we know we're not going to somehow, loosen them up and, cause them to completely move. So use your soldering skills here, folks, and make sure you use the correct solder. Basically, you're going to heat it up, and you're going to drop some solder, just like that. He's moving on to the next one. Again, folks, I would say if your soldering skills are not up to par, I would suggest not performing this, or find someone, as I have, who is good at this. My assistant here worked for many years as an accessory installer and has experience not only installing things, but fixing things of this nature. It's very handy when it comes to this stuff. I do appreciate his efforts here helping us out, the channel. He wants to be nameless. We'll try to find a nickname for him by the end of this video. If you'd like to suggest one for my assistant here. I've known him for many years. He does know his stuff. Okay. Again, it's tedious work, but if your soldering skills are up to par, you're going to have no problem doing this. Main thing is you see where he's soldering and how he's doing it. You could use a pair of tweezers to hold them down if you like. Sometimes it's just easier to do it the way he's doing it. He's nodding to me that he has found a few of these to be loose, which is the underlying issue of your display going dim. Again, rather tedious work, but if you have soldering skills, it will be no problem. Again, when doing this, just like when we took apart the dash to get at this piece, just a little bit of patience. It really doesn't take very long. If you remember correctly, I guesstimated it would take 15 minutes to access this unit. And that's usually how long it takes me to get at it. What are you looking for? There's a method to his madness, folks. As you can see, it appears that they are all completed. Now, for sake of time, putting this thing back together is the reversal of the removal, although we'll start that. Be careful these pins. You do not want to bend these pins. All these pins go into that connector, as you saw when we took this apart. It's one of the most tedious parts of this, is getting those pins to fit nicely in their little holes. It can be done, just be patient. Don't bend them. Do not bend those pins. There we go. You could say what you want about if you bend those pins. No, the rebuild that you can buy on the internet does not include fixing those pins. It includes simply soldering those little chips as we just did. Now, do you really want to pay the money and the shipping to send this to somebody to have done? You could. Or you could do this. Because remember, half the work is getting it in and out of your car. You're not going to... You have to take it out yourself anyway, so why not just spend the extra 10 or 15 minutes, use your soldering skills, or get a friend like I have. And again,